new units. Oh man, this is a little silly. A deep dive coming in Coral Viper. 2 new battle groups and new maps. Vehicle pathfinding, vote to surrender, matchmaking cooldowns, mission select, an all-new Accolades system, and more. Let's just get right into it. Coral Viper will introduce the next 2 battle groups for Company of Heroes 3, Deutsche Afrika Korps, a battlefield espionage for the British forces and Australian defense. Free for all players.
The Australian Defence Battle Group. The Australian Light Infantry is a 5-man squad equipped with Lee Enfield rifles. The 2-pounder is a light anti-tank gun. Defensive Tactics grants your sappers and Australian Light Infantry the tools needed to build the 17-pounder and Bofors emplacements. Hold the Line is a defensive ability that bolsters the defense of your emplacements, team weapons, and base buildings. The Over Repair ability allows your sappers to repair vehicles past their maximum health values. The CWT Supply Truck Run is a new mechanic which collects fuel or munitions from resource points. Reinforced Resource Caches provides cheaper and sturdier caches. Artillery Tripwire Flares. When the enemy trips the wire, a flare will reveal the surrounding area, and a single artillery shell will strike. Charged Creeping Barrage designates a line of shell fire from point A to B. The Archer Tank Destroyer has arrived. Battlefield Espionage Battle Group specializes in camouflage and subterfuge. The Funk Panzerwagen is a non-combat vehicle. If that wasn't enough, how about the Goliath? Anti-tank guns will be bolstered with incendiary munitions, dealing a small amount of additional damage over time. Advanced ambush training increases the first strike bonus of your infantry squads. Prepare yourself for Operation Scorpion. All vehicles will gain camouflage. The Intel Disruption Beacon detects nearby enemies, marking their location in the fog of war. A Sector Subterfuge Beacon steals resources from enemy territory. Thunder allows you to scavenge vehicle wrecks for weapons. Panzer Grenadiers get a BAR or light machine gun. Assault Grenadiers gain a Thompson SMG or STG-44. Transfer Depots upgrades your resource caches to be able to trade fuel or munitions for manpower. Disruption Operation reduces your enemy's situational awareness. Scorch the earth in a storm of fire. This ability shells the area with incendiary rounds which burn the ground.
We are bringing in Eindhoven, which is a Code 2 favorite 2v2 map. It's a great design. It's very, very familiar. It isn't overly complex. It's got enough twists and turns to it that it's formidable. So we have Gothic Line. This is a very different map to what we've made before. Very much a heavy 3-laned map, but it's bisected with cliffs on either side. So you've got the open hilltop and then you've got the 2 lanes down the side. So it'll be very different in how it plays to a lot of our maps. And then we have Oasis Depot, which is a 4v4. Lots of work has gone into this map. I'm very pleased with how it's come out. I think it's going to be a very, very solid entrant into our 4v4 pool. You can access that central island from various routes. There are lots of vehicle paths, and all the water in this area is now pathable.
So we're adding in a mission select system, a new option in the single player menu, be able to go through and select any of the missions that are playable in either the Italian dynamic campaign or the North African operation. More ways for single player players to gain merit. We are adding an additional daily challenge for 30 merit that's just going to ask you to play one of the missions. We're also going to take one of the weekly challenges and replace it with a single player, non-single player weekly challenges are going to be increased to 400 merit.
For our co-op players, you'll now be able to change your difficulty selection before queuing for a co-op versus AI match. We've also made several changes to our AI to make them feel more competent and more efficient in combat.
A new feature we're adding called Accolades, and this adds a bit more progression into the game. You complete them in order from 1 to 10 in a series so that they never expire. So there's one for every faction. Are interesting to do. That some of them are grindy, but not too grindy. Some of them are easy one-offs that are fun to do and encourage you to play a certain way. Many of these will give you rewards for your player profile, things like titles, as well as some new merit rewards as well. Get the BAR upgrades by a certain time, get a certain number of kills with certain units, and then some of them are to play specific missions.
Our pathfinding, we started by looking at the vehicle donuts. What we've done is we kind of started penalizing in a way turns that are too wide. The vehicles will never do donuts. Should make the vehicles a lot more predictable.
So it's render, an auto-match cooldown, and the post-match observation. There is a voting system that is available from the 50-minute mark. To be successful, you need at least 50% plus 1, so more than 50%. You call for a surrender vote, enough people vote yes, we want to surrender, and then the game ends. We do have, however, this auto-match cooldown that happens whenever a player exits a match without using surrender. They incur into an auto-match cooldown. Mm-hmm. The auto-match cooldown will only be active in quick match and co-op versus AI. Cooldowns that we have incremental, and they will be exponential. We will have a built-in grace buffer. So we are going to try to account as much as possible for occasional crashes or disconnects. In those cases, you will not see or receive a penalty. Post-match observation, end of match video, either win or loss, and then we bring you back to the game. You will have a chance to look at the map, look at the units, look at your units, enemy units, and kind of do take your time to do an evaluation of how the game went.
Stay up to date on everything Company of Heroes 3.
Subscribe to TidaLtv.